Hello everyone and welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. So today I have finally finished Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher, and it is time for a full-blown review. The book has been out for a while, but I still want to add caution as this review will contain spoilers, so if you're still reading or you haven't started yet, pause the video, take some time to read it, and then come back and hit play. And if you enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe. Right off the bat, this book is great. I don't think I can put into words just how much I loved this story. For starters, this book does a lot to add to the rise of Skywalker, specifically because this story is mentioned by Lando when he tells Rey, Poe, and Finn that he and Luke were chasing after Ochi of Bestoon. When I heard that in the theater, I instantly said out loud, "Huh, well there's a book to look forward to," and it didn't disappoint. The book is just chocked full of action and amazing characters, so let's dive right into it. The book's main focus is shared between Luke and Lando and Rey's parents. Adam Christopher did a tremendous job of moving between these two stories seamlessly between chapters, but the short of it is Rey's parents, now named Dathan and Miramir, are on the run. Dathan, being a clone of Palpatine, puts everyone in danger, so he and Miramir speed off in an attempt to hide their daughter Rey from being taken to Palpatine on Exegol. It is not easy for them though, as they are being tracked by the infamous Ochi of Bestoon. Meanwhile, Lando Calrissian has been searching tirelessly for his kidnapped daughter Kadara, when he overhears the drunken Ochi of Bestoon boasting about how the Sith chose him to go on a hunt for some girl and how capturing her would grant him access to Exegol. With this information, Lando feels that he's finally found a lead and heads off to find Luke to see if he can give him any assistance. At the same time, Luke is checking out an archaeological dig site with Lor San Tekka, where they discover shards of a large kyber crystal that has been bled. These dark red shards pose a threat to anyone who touches them, but it gets worse as Luke soon learns of a new supposed Sith who is at large and is also searching for the shards of this red kyber crystal. Luke and Lando decide to combine their strengths and team up to go after Ochi and this family in hopes of saving them from the Sith, and possibly finding more clues to where Lando's daughter may be. Each plot point given was extremely interesting, and I never found myself getting bored with where the story was going. And surprisingly, there were quite a few times where the book brought me to literal tears. I did, however, have the advantage of having an atmosphere with the story as I listened to the audiobook, which included music and sound effects that only enhanced my experience. But I feel that I would have given the same emotional response to specific scenes, especially because we all know how the story ends. We saw the end of the story in The Rise of Skywalker, with Ochi of Bestoon catching up to Rey's parents and killing them. But reading it out in full context is just heart-shattering. Both Dathan and Miramir tried everything they had at their disposal to get Rey to safety, which of course ends with her being left to Unkar Plutt on Jakku. They were truly loving parents to Rey and wanted nothing but the best for her. They just weren't lucky enough to get away from Ochi. On the other side of things, Luke and Lando's relationship is superb. I always loved their interactions in Legends novels, most notably being the Heir to the Empire trilogy, mainly because Luke and Lando barely had any screen time together in the original trilogy, and with their personalities being so different, having a whole story to themselves was exactly what I was hoping for. But the search for this family is what uncovers this new mysterious Sith character that we first see on the very cover of Shadow of the Sith, a Pantoran woman by the name of Kaiza, a character who used to be a member of the Acolytes of the Beyond and believed to be dead, but it only gets worse when we discover that she's being persuaded to do the bidding of the Sith from the mask that she wears. The mask originally belonged to a Sith Lord long dead by the name of Exum Panchard, and similar to the mask of Darth Momin in its possessive abilities, the mask of Exum Panchard allowed the user to communicate with his spirit as it told the user what to do. Not only that, but Kaiza also wielded a very different lightsaber, an ancient Sith relic that once belonged to Darth Noctis. This lightsaber has a curved scimitar-style blade that was only believed to be legend until Luke saw it with his own eyes. And I gotta say, just from the description of it in the book, I wasn't on board at first, but the more it was used, the more it just creep me out. It sounded like the perfect Sith weapon, creating a lightsaber so abstract that your opponent was terrified by the mere look of it. All these characters and story plots come together to form one of the greatest Star Wars novels ever written, in my personal opinion. Now, I know there's a big argument right now that Shadow of the Sith was only created to help fill in some story gaps from The Rise of Skywalker, but that's just simply not true. Especially when you take into consideration that every Star Wars movie has had a book or several books written that help fill in the gaps and bridge other stories together. This is just how these stories go. You don't need to read Shadow of the Sith to understand The Rise of Skywalker, but it absolutely will add to the experience of watching the film. I, for one, am now eagerly awaiting some free time to watch it again now that I've finished the book, because I feel the film will have a stronger impact with me now. But who knows, perhaps that is a video for another time. Overall, Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher is an awesome tale of classic characters going up against new threats. Luke and Lando is a duo that needs to happen more often in Star Wars, and Rey's parents were some of my favorite moments in the whole book. Just seeing how they were good people who didn't want any trouble and only wanted to do what they could to give Rey a better life. Truly an awesome yet tragic story. I would definitely give this book a flat 10 out of 10. I didn't have any expectations for this book, but wow was I blown away by it. If you have not read the book and decided to listen through the video anyway, then I hope I've convinced you to take a look into it yourself. And I don't think I can preference enough just how incredible the audiobook was for this project, and I highly recommend giving it a try the next time you need something to listen to. I could go on and on and on about this book, but I need to cut myself off because I'm very eager to know what you all thought. Let me know down in the comments how you felt about Shadow of the Sith, and whether or not you'd like to see some sort of continuation to the story that would take place before The Rise of Skywalker. Or perhaps after. I would love to see the story of Lando discovering that Rey was the child that he was fighting so hard to save. That interaction would just be mind-blowing. But until that story comes to light, and until the next review, which should be Mike Chen's Brotherhood, that's all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you again very soon.